Hey y'all, what's going on? We are back again for the Real Housewives of Potomac season 9, episode 19, which just happens to be the reunion part 2. I watched the uncensored version. I know my good sis watched the uncensored version as well. So we got all of the swear words and the real unfiltered commentary. So, we had to come and give it to you guys one more time like we did last week. And we're also going to do part 3 together too. So y'all better buckle up, strap in, do all of the things. And nobody's in here yet, y'all, but I know you guys are gonna start trickling in as soon as we see the notification. So make sure you say hi in the chat. If you plan on watching in the bushes, maybe you can pop out of the bushes and come say hi in the chat. Let me throw our banner up here. You know how we do.
I appreciate you letting me come on in and get this part dose in, just because, sometimes I'm in the mood and then I'm out of the mood. Like I'm be moody with my content. So I appreciate you inviting me in again because, I like the reunion.
I feel you. Yes, love a reunion. I will say the second part, I will say the first part was really good. The second part wasn't. What did we give it last week? I can't remember. An 8.5, a 9?
8. No, we didn't go 9. We went 8.
I would say like this was like a 7.5, like a 7.5 for me. It wasn't bad, but I feel like we'll get to that part. I feel like I hate to say this because clearly Miss Mama, who knows if she's coming back at this point, Miss 4 DUIs. I think that Karen was needed though a little bit to fill some of that gray area. I could see where her storyline and her I see where she was supposed to exist at, I feel like is my assessment based on some just filler conversation I feel like we had. But again, we'll get into that later on down the line. But
I didn't think about that, sis, to be completely honest. Like
I think you know what space I'm talking about.
Yes, I get that. Yeah, I get the space, but even still, like Rondom has been missed.
Yes, but and actually I'll bring up the news on her first. We can start off with that actually and get it out the way. Okay. What just dropped about her. But before we even get into that, you already know we gotta tell you guys, like the video on both channels. We are streaming from both of our platforms, so hit the like button on each, please and thank you. Also subscribe to both channels if you are not currently a subscriber of either one of us. Hit the subscription button and also turn on your notification bell so you know every single time we make an upload. And also we would love to know your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Let's keep the conversation going. Shout out to the replay gang and share us with all your people near and far. And if you're watching on X, shout out to you guys over there. Make sure you come down here to the YouTube and do all of the things. And who we got in the chat? Kansas in the chat bright and early, like we love. Going on. Okay. And again, as you guys trickle in, make sure you say hi. Let us know what you guys would rate the episode, and so on and so forth. And we'll jump into it. Let me share my screen so we can jump into this article that I'm sure you guys already know by now. None other than Karen Huger, as you see, shout outs to Reality Blurb. As it says, the prosecutor confirms Karen Huger has had 4, not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4 DUI offenses as RHOP star faces sentencing in a few days. See how much time they want her to serve, plus live viewing thread. Okay, so as it says, last month, RHOP alum Robin Dixon suggested Karen Huger's most recent DUI was her 4th, and a prosecutor is now confirming Robin was indeed correct. Ahead of Karen's sentencing on Wednesday, February 26th, which is tomorrow, less than 24 hours, the prosecutor in her case filed a court document telling the judge Karen, 61, should actually do some jail time because this happens to be her 4th alcohol-related traffic case. On February 22nd, the Washington Post shared an update on Karen's criminal case, citing the recent filing by prosecutor Jordan Kramer. In the court filing, she accused Karen of having 3 previous alcohol-related traffic cases from the years 2006 to 2011, which resulted in a guilty verdict for driving while impaired and another for driving under the influence. Oh, you guys see that? You see that bracelet right there? I actually just got that bracelet in this week, so make sure you guys drop down in the description box and shop you some Linda Maria jewelry and tell them I sent you. Use my code. Anyway, despite the guilty findings, Karen served 0 jail time for all her previous offenses. I'll let that marinate for a second. Okay, the fact that Ms. Huger has repeatedly been given the benefit of another chance on 3 separate occasions demonstrates that she has not learned anything from her prior arrests, wrote the prosecutor. In fact, it appears as if she has been emboldened. While Karen is facing up to 2 years in prison, the prosecutor is requesting that she be handed a 6-month jail sentence by the judge based on the sentencing guidelines in the state of Maryland. Karen's defense team, however, would prefer she serve 0 jail time, asking the judge to focus rather on rehabilitation for her. They cite the fact that Karen spent 28 days at a rehab facility in Florida to address 3 problems, including alcohol abuse, dependency on antidepressants, and her past trauma of being SA'd 42 years ago while she was in college. Karen's attorney claims that since her rehab stint, she has been participating in meetings every morning with Alcoholics Anonymous coffee group. Similar to Karen's RHOP co-stars, the prosecutor also questioned the timing of Karen's rehab stint, which came after her guilty verdict and not before. Additionally, Kramer wrote, the state is concerned that the program that Ms. Huger did choose to enroll in equates itself to a luxury resort experience, as they added that it offered spa services and meals made by a chef. Karen is expected to speak in front of the judge during her sentencing on Wednesday. In March of last year, Karen crashed her car into a tree, which ultimately led to her arrest for driving while intoxicated. During her trial, police body cam footage showed her slurring her words, and she was ultimately found guilty on several counts. So I won't even say the rest here. I'll make sure to put it in the description box so you guys can read up on it again for yourselves. Again, shout out to Reality Blurb. I knew that there was, other offenses. We've heard that through the grapevine and stuff like that, and I did believe that. But I don't know, to hear that this is the 4th, like, I don't know, man. Like, that something needs to happen. And by no means would I ever advocate for anybody to go to jail, but like clearly there needs to be some type of reprimanding. There needs to be some type of hard consequence here, because if not, would it be so uncommon to say that she'd more than likely get herself into this type of situation again? I mean, history repeats itself, obviously, and clearly she hasn't learned her lesson. If it's taken 4 times now, you want to talk about the antidepressants and all this other stuff, but like, girl, what are we doing?
Yeah, I didn't know it was 4 times. That's a lot. That's 1, 2, 3 times too many. Because 1 time is too many. Then you go do it 3 more times after that. So, if they don't, like, can she go clean up the freeways and go do some harder labor? Something that's, like, because an ankle bracelet, to me, I don't think it's not. You're still at home. You're still doing exactly what you're doing at the luxury spot that she's at. So like this, she's not learning learning to stay away from alcohol because there's none on the premises.
She probably was at the 3 seasons.
Sorry, y'all,
the 3 seasons is probably what it was called. 3 seasons rehab, I'm sure. Because that's insane to me. Again, tomorrow's the day, so it's gonna be what it's gonna be. We might have to come back again tomorrow and talk a little bit about what the verdict is coming down to. It has to be something. It has to be something. And I say that, and this is how you guys know for a fact that I am not biased by any means, because as I've said all season, like, Karen is my favorite housewife on this particular franchise. I definitely have gone up for her for all these seasons, but a wrong move is a wrong move, and she did a wrong move, and you know she has to suffer the consequences. Whatever they deem sufficient is, you know, going to be cool with me, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna give her like a little like. I don't think it's gonna be lightweight. It might be like 30 days in jail. Like that's, and 30 days don't sound like a long time, but that's a long time to somebody that don't want to be in jail.
It is what it is, man. She likes to mentor people so bad she can mentor them girls up in there for the 30 days. Then how about that?
No, for real. Like for real. That's what it is. And
when life gives you
older, because literally, I don't know when and I don't know when's the specifics. Sorry. I don't know the specifics on Wendy's. How far apart were the DUIs? Like how many years apart?
To 2011. That's not a long time. And again, shout outs to our brother Sodev, as he was mentioning last week in the comments, like, okay, should we maybe give her like maybe a little bit of grace or try to just kind of be a little bit of understanding of the fact that she did lose her parents. This just goes to show that this was an issue before they even left this earth, because they left this earth, you know, just before or after the pandemic or whatever, just in recent years. So there's a big gap there. It shows that, you know, she has an issue with alcohol, and she's going to continue to have an issue if some, you know, and even if she goes to jail, like who's to say that still would be the fix? Who knows, you know, but something's got to be done. Like enough is enough, because, you know, what if next time somebody is unalived, or, you know, she causes somebody some serious bodily harm? Like that's not cool. You can't play around with getting behind the wheel intoxicated. I'm sorry. What's going on, Nello? 4 DUIs, ... Your license needs to be snatched permanently. And that's just what it is. That's just the way the cookie crumbles, y'all. Hey, Kevin, what's going on? Am I coming in good? Are we coming in good, Kevin? Let me know, because you said last week that there was a little bit of issues on your end or whatever. So let me know if we're good. You know, you always keep us in check down here. So again, y'all, let's get into it. Last week we left off with Mia freaking leaving the stage, right? She left the stage, and just as we pick up with part 2, she's rejoining the stage, and we're back at it. And that's actually after Andy, sorry, I jumped ahead. Andy actually went back to like check on her. He gives her this little like pep talk or whatever, tells her to give herself some grace, because, you know, she's been going through it and all the things or whatever. But her thing is she feels ashamed for being a bad person, being a bad friend. She's throwing herself a pity party, if you ask me, crocodile tears, if you ask me. But, you know, if it convinces him, then whatever. My question is, like, Andy, do you really feel as though she is a good person? Like, do you honestly feel like that? Because I feel like on Watch What Happens Live, you low-key, you know, we can clearly see like who your favorites are and stuff like that. And I feel like you don't really be seeing it for her a lot of the time. So do you truly believe that she is a good person? And I mean, obviously we all have our own definitions of what a good person is, but it's just like, come on now. Come on now. Anyway, like I said, then she rejoins the stage and we're back at it. Andy asks Gizelle about how she feels being an empty nester. She says she was super sad for like 28 hours. And then right after that, she snapped out of it and she realized she can do whatever she wants. You know, she doesn't have to worry about, you know, taking care of the girls and stuff like that. Like they're off. They've left the nest. They're doing their own thing. She says the twins, they're doing great. They finished their first semester with 4.0s each, which shout outs to them. We love to hear that. They're doing awesome. And he also asked about how is her relationship with Jamal these days. We know that Jamal just got remarried again. And she says, you know, they're good. They're good. Everything is cool between them. And a viewer actually asked about the attire that Jamal and his new wife chose to wear to their wedding. And if you guys didn't see that, then it was very much like the viewer giving Wicked. It was very much giving an ode to the AKAs. Maybe we don't really know what to call it, but there was a pink and green situation going on down at that reception, at that wedding. Not my, cup of tea, but again, I'm not the one walking down the aisle there. So, to each his own. You have anything to say about that?
Oh, I can't bring up my notes, and I was having technical difficulties going on. So I'm literally irritated that my thing had froze up. But I know. Wait, tell me how I started again.
Let me the real, I feel like, big thing here for me at least was when Andy had asked, or when Gizelle like revealed that the girls, they still don't know their stepmom very, very well. For me, that was like that stood out for me because I don't have kids, as you guys know, but being a product of a blended parenting situation at one point in my life, I had a stepmother and stuff like that, and we're very close. So I don't know, I can't imagine that not being a thing. If I did have kids, that would definitely be something that we get solidified before we even walk down the aisle. Before I look at asking you for your hand in marriage, like we got to form some type of connection with the kids. And it already seemed as though they kind of got like blindsided by this whole thing. They thought they was dating, maybe I think they thought that he was dating her, or they were just friends or whatever, and then boom bam, thank you ma'am, next thing we know, he was getting married to this lady. I just feel like that's a little like weird. I don't know like why he wouldn't want, I'm not calling him a bad dad, but like, I just feel like, I don't know, I just felt like that was a little weird. Wouldn't you want your partner to like, it's supposed to be a package deal, right? When you're, have a kid and you're getting with somebody new and stuff like that. I just would have thought that would have been something that he paid more attention to, but it is what it is.
I think I definitely in my notes I put that is a tell sign that he's not as hands-on or has a close relationship to his daughters, because if he did, they would like, even they don't live in the same state. So when we're talking, we're FaceTiming because I want to see your face talking to you. You know what I mean? So I literally want to look at your face, and your wife should be there on some occasion. Most occasions, it should be that his relationship with his new wife before the wedding. But yeah,
that's what I said. That's just, I don't know. I think that's weird.
That's why it goes back to him. That's why it still go back to him. Evidently, they have a relationship. Yeah,
I'm not blaming the girls. That's not their place to go and be like, oh, I like dated kids. And also, it's kind of weird of her. I blame him, and it's kind of weird of her too, because I'll be like, you know what? I feel like, does she have kids? I wonder. I feel like if I was her, I also would be like, I think it's important that we start to kind of, I want to kind of bond with the girls first. Like I just feel like that's super important. But again, it speaks to the closeness of him and his children. I guess maybe he don't see it as a big deal, which that's telling, but whatever.
And or the wife could be the kind of wife that, if the kids are grown and if they want to reach out to me, they can reach out to me, and that's not a good thing either, because then if the kids start resenting you, thinking that you're trying to erase them from the life that they started before you were even there. So there's a couple of things that could be going on at the same time. The way Gizelle's face was acting, and the way she, the thing she said she didn't speak too highly of the other lady, like she was can't hold a candle to her and all this other things and that. And so yeah, so and I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel like that was more a dig towards the husband, because she don't know that girl. Just like the dad, them not having a close relationship is a dig on the dad, not really the new wife. Exactly. And in the beginning, when they started it off with, Mia walking off, I was like, way to go, because my notes are still, I can't, for whatever reason, I can't get to my notes right this second, but I did put, way to go for Andy to, make her come back to the stage, even though Mia, she knows she's wrong. Like every time she walk off the stage, she's like, because now she can't hide behind her tears. Nobody's pressed for your tears no more. Like nobody cares. So now she's like, okay, I'm gonna exit stage. Like, girl, nobody cares. You don't have to exit. We don't care. You can exit. You unless you go off the show, girl. We don't care. I'm trying to think what else. I literally, my notes were really just my points. And so I'm really irritated because I was trying to connect some earphones that my computer was lagging, so I can't do it right this second. But anywho, yeah, no. Yeah, Mia, no, we're not about to fall for the okie doke with that. And Gizelle, I am proud of her kids. Having a 4.0 average is not an easy feat, and for both of them to be at different schools and do it is getting there.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. No, it's not. So shout outs to them, y'all. But
Yes.
then Andy moves into asking Gizelle about Namsa, which was the dude she met speed dating and had like a whatever situation going on this season with. She described it
I just my notes off my phone. Sorry. I just remember my notes right here on the phone. Go ahead.
Yeah. She described it as he's strong. And I'm like, I didn't understand what that meant, but whatever. She also says that him and Josh are pretty cool. And when speaking about Josh, Ashley says that they kind of like cool down for just a bit. However, and they don't have a title, but on what they're doing. But and him and Namsa, they've gotten kind of cool, and Namsa actually is the one that like said that like yeah, like he's pretty sprung over Ashley or whatever. So I don't know. I guess maybe we might see him next season. Then I didn't really care about that. I don't really care about anything really just Ashley has going on or what's going on with her this season. So I don't really have anything to say about that. Except for the fact that apparently he was really offended by what Wendy said about him. She was calling him Jack Harlow, and she also mentioned that at the Bravo Fan Fest, she said that he was a lateral move from Michael, which I guess he was offended by. But Wendy's whole thing is, last time I checked, you tried to you were the one that brought forth these rumors about my husband cheating or whatever. So yeah, you don't even try to come at me about nothing when you already came at me crazy about me and my dude. So I mean that I got to me, I guess that's fair or whatever. But I mean I don't feel like it's wrong of him to be offended though. I mean that wasn't I would feel a type of way, like if you're like that you took a dig at him, like, so I think it's okay. But as far as her having or as far as her saying what she said to Ashley, I mean, she has a point. Yes, Ashley, you did try to bring forth, you tried to act like, yeah, you might have not been the one to start the rumor, you might have been the one to publish the article, but you did speak on that rumor. So I mean, Wendy, I guess, yeah, she's justified in feeling some type of way about that. And what's good for the goose is good for the gander, pretty much is where I think Wendy was coming from with that. And then they go back and forth a little bit. She calls Ashley miserable, yada yada yada.
Well, a couple of things for me with Namsa being in the picture still. That explains the why Gizelle is looking better and having sex appeal, and why her mouth is being sexual, because he must be blowing her back out. Kudos to him. Okay. I'm talking like her because that's how she's been talking. Everything is just like, I was like, okay, Gizelle, you coming out with the nails, you coming out with the cutouts, and you coming out with the saying sperm and the this. And I said, girl, woo, in the hand in the hand jobs, or I say, whoa, wait, girl, I'm not ready yet, girl. I'm not ready. So I think that Gizelle is happy with what's going on with her and Nams, and I'm here for all that because she just better when she got a man that somebody that takes her mind off of talking about other folk. As far as Ashley, I guess the label thing is fine. I don't know if anybody was really putting a label on it but herself, but she was all smitten. She was the one super. Every time you say Josh, she get all. You know what I mean? So it was her, and I haven't felt like this since Michael. I'm like, okay, girl, all right. So literally, I was just like, and as far as Wendy telling oh, Yeah, when I the sex part. So by the when I was just talking about how Gizelle is talking loosely about sex, the way she whenever she has said to she said something to I didn't write it down because I was like literally answering what she said, but whatever she said, I was like, wait a minute, production. She was like, no, cut that from production, cut that. You don't have to play that. I'm like, no, they're gonna play that because you don't talk like that. So I can't think of what it was. But for me, I was like, that's not even how first ladies. I forget that she was a first lady. So I'm like, okay, so you like on some Stella got your groove back. I see like Gizelle just changing up. So I mean, it's cool for me. I'm here for it because she kind of be giving stuffy. She's not an old lady, so but she gives that like when the kids was home, she was kind of stuffy, and now that the kids are out, I feel like she's like more relaxed. As far as the Josh being offended, he has every right to be offended. That wasn't cool. But Wendy, to me, it was a stray. It wasn't. She wasn't really trying to be mean to him. She was really trying to catch Ashley's attention. Like, girl, don't come up from my family. I ain't forget what you said. You know what I'm saying? And that was coming from my husband's reputation too. Girl, no, we're not doing that. And then the comparison with the lateral thing, there's like two things that could be true. She could have been saying that because of the age from one senior, older man to the parallel, unparalleled that he's younger. It could be financial status. We don't know what Josh does. I'm not coming for Josh's finances either, but we do know that Michael is worth a lot of money. He's in a different kind of bracket. So, and we know that because that where they were living at, or the hotel that they had bought, or whatever he had lived in, he had bought that before. Well, like we know Michael got money. So I was like, for his friends, well, his friends didn't like it, and I was like, so what? So what? And half the people in the comments are not gonna like it. So what? It is what it is. I wasn't really coming for him. So I don't agree. I don't think that Wendy was really coming for him like that. So. And did you talk about who brought to national television the rumor about Eddie that it was Ashley and not Gizelle, but it was by way of Gizelle, but you repeated it because you were the dummy. They knew that you would go back and tell it. They knew it. Even pregnant at all, wasn't pregnant, just had the baby, whatever, because her face was bigger. I don't know if she was pregnant, but either way, they used you to go tell it anyway. So you bit, and now you in trouble. And Giselle's like, no, I took the hit. No, you didn't. There was no hit to take. Ashley took the hit. Ashley brought it to the TV. So yeah, just those things.
Okay. So then next up, y'all, we get into the new ladies, which are, Kei and Stacey. After they play their packages like together, we get into Kei and Greg, who Greg is actually there at the reunion. They're still together, despite what we saw at the finale with them. The blurb we got about them at the finale. They actually looked at rings just the past week, according to her, but she decided that they needed to separate. So she went to get her own premarital condo that she's now purchasing herself, and they'll probably move back in together after the ring. Okay, I'm gonna just keep going with that, and then I'll say what I have to say. So, in reference to Greg not liking being filmed, Kei points out how the transition it was from being a friend to becoming a full-time housewife, and having been hurt in the previous season, that was a lot for Greg to digest. Her wanting to come back into that environment that at that time just didn't seem like a positive environment to be in. She also makes mention of how it hurt him when she said that she felt unsupported and how negative it came across to him because he was actually showing up. She also has felt uncomfortable in front of the camera at times as well. So she can empathize. With that, seeing as though she, again, started off as a friend of, now she's a full-time housewife. So yeah, I'll stop right there real quick and say, Kei, I mean, at this point, if you like it, I love it. But I feel like, again, you are diminishing yourself to accommodate his feelings yet again, because is it a big deal, you know, to have cameras in your faces? I'm sure it's a big deal for everybody, especially if you don't. It is okay. I get it. He's not the first person. He is definitely not the first husband that didn't really want to be a part of the show or whatever. I totally understand that, but I do feel as though you are diminishing again how you feel, and it's again that it's not really making sense. Just like before, during the season, we didn't really make sense, where it's like, okay, you say that you guys clearly need to kind of pump the brakes a little bit, take a step back from stuff, but then you're still looking at rings. Like, what? I'm confused. Like, what are we doing here? And also, I thought last time I checked, weren't you saying you didn't really care too much about the ring? So exactly. And then again, you're talking about like, cool, you're purchasing yourself a condo, that's cool, whatever, and it's a premarital thing, so yeah, it'll just, you know, remain yours and stuff. That's cool and all, but I do think that you're just being a lot more accommodating to your feeling to him than you are to your own feelings, because you're still justified in saying that, like, no, like, yeah, you might have been he might have been showing up, but that doesn't really, like, y'all, that doesn't really matter if the whole time you're sitting there like, and like not really wanting to be a part of, you know, the whole thing. If you're there being an energy suck and bringing down, you know, the vibes, then no, you might as well get the fuck on anyway. Like, nobody wants you here if you're going to sit here and not really like just being present. That's the bare minimum. You still have to go a little bit above that and be an active participant. He wasn't actively trying to participate. We remember that car scene. He wasn't really trying to talk about stuff. Like, you have to fully be like, it's no half stepping. You can't, this isn't like a regular, you know, job or something where you can just like, yeah, I support you. Yeah, I'll go to y'all's family fun day or whatever, or I'll, you know, take a picture here and there. Like, you have to fully kind of, you can't just stand in the threshold. You have to fully come through onto the other side of the room. Like, and I feel like, again, that's you trying to be accommodating. For what reason, I have no idea. And it's not just me saying that based off of looks, because I mean, looks fade, I get that or whatever. But yeah, I mean, even if we are going to focus on looks, you blow him out of the water. I feel like on that one, you say you're, you know, a boss woman, you stand on business, all this type of stuff, but that's not what you gave this season. We didn't see that. So if you come back next season, I'm gonna need you to come back better. And if he's not really trying to be, you know, down with the get down, then he needs to get the fuck. That's how I feel.
Get fuck. There's a couple of things. I literally hope that he sees himself on TV and how dismissive he is to his fiance, because that ain't cool. Like, literally, it makes you kind of cringe. And I don't know why, maybe because she's living it, that she doesn't see it, because she still feels like you're still defending it, like y'all still looking at rings, like you said. The fact that she is buying a condo, that's good news. I don't know if that's like the fallback or, you know, the cushion, or, you know, I don't know. I just, whatever it is, I'm glad she's getting it, because, bro, I don't see this working out, because I don't think that this guy is supporting you the way we want him to show up. But he's not our dude. He's your dude. If he's supporting you and you think that's the support system that you like and is cool with, which I'm sure you're not, because but her mom don't like him, right? Or the parent, or not that they don't, I shouldn't say like. Maybe that's not the word.
I want to say her mom was like no, like the rent, like she was wanting her to be married. Like, she was speaking to the tune of y'all need to get married type of stuff.
Okay, so his mom is like, though she has issue with the way his parents, because remember they were all in the office or something. They were all in the office.
Yeah, like that was weird. Like, they were kind of like on her, expecting, I get like it's just like everybody over there expects so much of her, and it's like he can't even show up for you fully on here. So again, why are you like, and again, I just thought about it. You don't want to be an active participant for real, but he was fucking benefiting. The men might not get paid on this show, but your business got some recognition on this show. So you were benefiting, and you still weren't, you know, putting in as much, I feel like, participation as you should have been doing.
So there's that. So all of those things I'm thinking about, like, that's crazy. But I'm like, I don't know if he's gonna show up for her I don't think that he doesn't seem like a person that will look at himself and be like, yeah, I was wrong. I still see him looking like, I mean, I'd always, his excuse would be like, well, I told you I didn't really want to be on TV, or I really wasn't wanting to be on the show like that. So you either take it or leave it. And it's like, that's not compromising. So for me, I don't think he's the type that will compromise, and she is. And it's not a good look.
It has to be equal compromising going on. It seems like you're the only one doing the compromising, and he don't really seem like he's trying to move a muscle. He seems like somebody who's very much stuck in their ways. And also, y'all, and I pointed it out earlier in the season, we have to remember that they met or whatever, they got together like a month after he was divorced from his wife. So I don't think that he even healed. And like,
honestly, say that again. It was only a month.
They got like a month after, and it's just like he clearly I need to know why he got divorced. I need to know what she should be calling up the ex-wife is what she should be doing, and taking some receipts from her. I don't think that the Yelp, did she read the Yelp reviews? Shout out to Hero. Like, I don't think that she did that, and now she's like just again making so many accommodations for him, when in all actuality, what is he really accommodating for you? Oh, he gave you a section in the closet. Ooh. Who cares? Telling her he doesn't dismiss her feelings as he's dismissing her feelings. Yes, Kay needs to drop that loser ASAP. Yeah, and I don't think
I didn't say hello to Nella or Kev. What up, guys? Nella, I don't know if that's a guy or girl, but what up, Kev? Nella, what up?
So asked Gizelle about Jamal, yet he is now married to someone else. Make it make sense. Yeah, that's another thing too. It's like, Gizelle, yeah, we need to get some new material from you, because we still asking about Jamal. He got a whole new wife now.
Not only because they got children together, that's not children, they're young adults now. But literally, yes, we need some new material.
Hi, Steve. What are you cooking? Send me some. I'm hungry.
Yes, girl.
It's just, Kay, we want you to do better. And don't take this. You come across my video, I've been going up for you since last season. I think you are super cool and you have all the things, but it's just like for some odd reason you keep trying to reduce yourself, and I'm not understanding why. Hey,
here's my other thing. As far as Gizelle was saying, don't move in. Y'all don't move back together until you get the ring. I'm like, no, don't move in until y'all get married, because y'all already did that. It didn't work out. It wasn't worth it. So why would y'all get engaged, then go move in back together? Like, that's the wrong. Y'all doing it the wrong way. And like, you literally buying the milk. I mean, you test drove it. Like, that's who you want to be with. So you were like, let's just go ahead, stay separate. If y'all don't do the engagement, make him propose better. Y'all going ring shopping, that's great, but I mean, is it gonna be a whole new proposal or whatever? And then move in. Don't go moving in because you got a ring. That's stupid. So when she said that, I was like, no. Okay, you can read it now.
Move away from me with this, Kay. Hey, Kay gives me pick me vibes though. When she made that comment about experiencing elder abuse, girl, stop. Yeah, it's just like, I don't know. Like, I really wish she interview her for real, because like I don't get it. Something's not clicking there, and I want it to click because she's a really beautiful girl that seems to know what she's doing as far as business, but all this other stuff is like, and this is probably the only time where I will say that the girls need to listen to Gizelle, because when she gives advice as far as like how they're navigating through their like when she was giving advice to Stacy and stuff this season and advice to Kate and stuff, like this is the time where actually Gizelle is speaking with sense, because y'all just be moving just crazy. But anyway, so Andy moves it on over to Stacy, and he begins to ask her about her former significant other, TJ. And before Stacy can answer, the girls are like, other Homer, y'all together? What are you talking about here? And so Stacy says, no, they're not together. And although she thinks he's one of the best people she knows, it was just a lot of pressure. And when she watched the season back, she saw what we all saw, him talking to her crazy. and she was shocked by some of the moments and stuff. Of course, they play it back and stuff, and we see him talking to her crazy. She said her family also had an issue with it. She was bothered by what Wendy said about how he seemed more. That's what she said at Bravo Fan Fest, that he seemed more like he was interested in the trainer more than he was interested in her, which is not just something Wendy said. That's what a lot of people said down here that were watching it, Stacey. But honestly, I'm not even upset. Anyway, I'll say that in a minute. So Wendy, she does apologize though for that. She gives her sincerest apology for that. And Stacey says that they broke up around the holiday season. She's officially divorced. And Arabella took the news of their divorce well, actually, but Stacey, on the other hand, doesn't know how to what to really do with her time, because they're currently doing a one week off, which is actually different than, I guess it's just, trying to soften like the transition and stuff, because I know she said that they're supposed to do it where she has her through that entire school year and then he has her during the summer. And then Andy also asks if he starts asking about if she and TJ, they haven't had actual sex, but have they like actually like done anything like that? She says they have done have had some intimate moments, whatever that means. And then a viewer actually compared Stacey and TJ to Kenya and Walter, which is a comparison that a lot of people have been drawing over the course of the season as well, because it was giving storyline and him giving as though he was trying to like boost his career, pretty much is what a lot of people were picking up. So she's like, are these really fans of the show? I'm confused because I don't know what to say. Of course you don't know what to say, Stacey, because it's not a real relationship. Is how I. And yeah, no ish that you guys aren't still together or whatever, because you guys, according to, I'm pretty sure we're going to dive into next week, we're going to find out that you guys were never really together like that for real. So
they were never together anyway. They were besties. Let's be clear. Remember the bestie part. We were always best.
I don't even know, but that's not even like real either. Like he was only brought into your life to I feel like honestly at this point to deflect. I don't think she really wanted us to know. I want to know what happened in her marriage and why they got divorced and all that. I think she was trying to deflect from what was really going on in her life is what I think she was trying to do. And she was trying to portray this type of image that is quickly fading because her slip is showing every which way she turns with that bad wig on.
Okay. So yeah, like I said, they were never together, so that's just crazy anyway. Like no news there, no new news, like they were saying. The part where Stacey said that she watched back and she didn't like the way TJ was talking to her and their family didn't appreciate that. I was like, so that's good. Like, let's just say that she didn't run a dude, right? She didn't run a dude, and this really happened. She really saw herself, being disrespected by this dude. And for me, I was happy to see that she, one, saw that and wasn't going to take that. And two, a lot of women don't see that, or they just kind of dismiss it. So I was happy to see that she did not. And it made her tear up. So, I mean, either she's a good actress or not, a to-be actress, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. That's just kind of weird, that whole dynamic. So I can't wait to see how that plays out, because now I feel like I'm talking about something that we know that ain't real, which makes me I feel like I'm on a hamster wheel and I'm not going nowhere. I don't want to do that. So let's just get off of her altogether. But yeah, what I will say is, in the moment, fake or not, ladies, if you are on TV and you are in a relationship and you see your significant other being disrespectful, those are the lenses that we see it in, and I'm gonna need you to see it all the time in those lenses, because sitting in it, you don't see it like that. And so I'm gonna need you to kind of be like, did you just say what I think you said? And not only that, when a person speaks to you, if they're not speaking to you the way you would want to be spoken to, then you should already know that's out. That's out. So let's be clear. Oh, what happened with Wendy because her feelings were hurt? Oh, about the panel, about that whole thing about how they apologized to each other, or that how Stacey came at Wendy and she was like, "Oh yeah," Wendy was like, "Oh yeah, I said that," and she was like, "Yeah, I know." So the way she held Wendy's feet to the fire, not in a disrespectful manner, but that she just was like, "Yeah, I know it was you. That's why I'm talking to you." And the way Wendy apologized, it was all heartfelt to me. I was like, "Yeah, you was wrong for saying that." Even if it was true about the guy liking the trainer, it wasn't for you to say as your co-star or your friend, as you said, "Yeah, that was wrong of me as your friend." I said, "Uh-oh, that's your friend? Okay. Well, as your friend, yeah, that was wrong." Because that's what you call it. That's what you said.
You guys talking on Kay's segment is boring. Wait, we're boring or her segment is boring? If you mean her segment is boring, yeah. And that again, I feel like goes to show that she kind of flopped a bit. Like you kind of flopped a bit for a lot of us this season, Kay, because you come in talking about I own a business, I stand on business, and I mind my business, but we didn't get any of that. And it honestly, like, I want to see her again, but maybe, it's okay. Not everybody can be the full-time housewife. Not everybody can be the front runner. That's totally fine. There is a reason why groups of people have individual like roles to play and stuff like that. Maybe she's not meant to, be to hold a flute. Maybe she's meant to, be brought in as she comes, like, and that's okay. But don't take me wrong. Like I do, like the little bit of stuff that she gave when it wasn't about him, or like when she did speak up a couple times, and I was like, okay, good. Like she added a little bit, but it just wasn't enough for me this season.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, her voice got lost in the sauce. And as far as Stacey being divorced and all that, kudos to her, because they do stay. That could have been the next part of her storyline for next year if she's coming back, and nobody really had time, especially because we didn't get to know nothing about her husband. He was, pixelated, so we couldn't see what he looked like and all kind of stuff like that. The fact that she's getting spousal support and not child support in her world, that works, because like she says, he takes care of the kids. So basically now, right, I mean, that's all you need him to do until she get out of college, as long as he's doing it right. To me, that's what co-parenting is. Like when I have them, I take care of them. When you have them, you take care of them. I didn't put my older kids on child support, and we weren't together. You took care. When you take care of them, you take care of them. When I take care of them, I take care of them. We did. They were with me majority of the time. There was times when he kept them, or he had them for a year or two where they wanted to go to school by him. But for the most part, I didn't go file child support on him because I felt like I don't need to have somebody tell me when to give me the money just for you to be like, you get your nails and your hair done. Like, shut up. You don't know what I'm doing with this money. I don't like when people do that either. Because for one, I'm a stylist, so I don't do all that. But anyway, just saying, I don't like that part of it. So it works for her. That's what all I'm saying. It works for her. On the other hand, Ashley is not getting spousal support. She's getting child support. And I'm not saying that works for her or not works for her, because I don't think that's working for her. I think she probably wanted them both. So
I don't know. I still feel like Stacey was living in La La Land a bit, and I feel like that was revealed when she found out that there was these additional accounts and different stuff that she had no clue about. And again, I say, like, yeah, as of now, because I mean, we literally do not know that man, her ex-husband, but what we do know is that sometimes people they appear one way when you guys are together and stuff like that, and then they show up differently when you guys aren't together. So all I'm saying is, I hope she went about this in a way to, protect herself.
Did we see? I'm sorry to cut you off. Did we see how her house and stuff looks like? Because if you get spousal support and stuff, don't they have to, whatever the way you were living before or during the marriage is how you live. So if she's like in a 2-bedroom condominium, like she ain't, or she ain't bought a house or a man. I'm asking because if it's worth so much money, then yeah, you might be right. She might have shot herself in the foot.
No, we didn't see how and I actually mentioned this earlier in the season. No, we've never seen, or well, we've seen a glimpse of her house because that's when Ashley threw her bunions up on her island. We've seen a little glimpse of that. It looked like a regular neighborhood, and then we haven't seen her car. Like, there's a lot of mystery behind Stacey, and it's obviously at the same time certain things are being revealed that kind of contradict how she, I feel like, was portraying herself. So, you know, in time, Stacey, we'll see the real Stacey in time. Is how I feel.
agree with that. No.
Who do you think got the better deal in divorce, Stacey or Ashley? I think with Stacey, the only thing is, like, she can always go back for child support versus if you can't go back for spousal support. You have to do that like pretty much when it's, you know, being done. So Ashley, I think no, but her signing that posting up and all that stuff, I don't even think both of these are comparable. I think Ashley independently screwed herself. And I think, again, Stacey, only time will tell if she screwed herself or not.
And then did you notice that when it came to Stacey saying, you know, I have my daughter, you know, 1 week, he has the other week. She was like, so, you know, I'm just, and then here go Ashley. It's hard, huh? She was like, no, I'm bored. No, I'm bored. I don't have nothing else to do. I'm like, y'all dynamic is different. You have
her daughter's older, and she seems girls do their own thing.
Yeah, their mother and daughter talking all the time. We're always picking their brains as teenagers. Like, what you got going on? What your friends talking about? What y'all got going on? What TikTok? What you pick their brain, because if you don't, they get into too much stuff that they say, well, you're not paying attention to me, so I can get into everything. So you want to kind of be in your daughter's life. But when you're an only child with a mother and daughter, I don't have that. You know, if I kids, I didn't have that.
Has to worry about her son swinging from chandeliers and stuff like that. So I'm pretty sure she is bored over there. Arabella seems like, you know, like, girl, she probably painting her nails in her room, doing her own little thing. Girls are a lot more contained and stuff like that.
Yeah, so them, they're younger. It's a definitely big difference.
By two little boys. They on the countertops every single time we see them boys. So I bet you are.
And it was funny because Gizelle's the first thing, you know, how's your daughter doing? And I'm thinking to myself, probably better now. She ain't being lied to. She not that they're not living a lie, living in the house together, knowing they're not together. Like the truth set her free. Now they're setting her up for success, because they're not gonna be together. Because when they were living together and all that, I was like, oh yeah, y'all tripping. That ain't cool. Don't do that. So yeah, I just want to bring that up right there.
Yeah. So then this is what I was talking about earlier, y'all. It got a little weird right here during the episode for me. And I feel like this is usually where maybe we would have talked a little bit about, you know, Karen or somebody else. Like, I think this is that gray space that we had, because then we start getting this whole random hair segment about 613. And I mean, a lot of it had to do with the fact that Mia had that blonde hair on this season that she shouldn't have had on her head. But I really don't have anything to say about that. I really didn't understand why we were like going on about that and fashions and different stuff.
They brought up 2 different times. They brought up 2 separate times too.
I don't have anything to say about that. I thought it was just filler conversation, honestly. And I mean, ultimately, Karen wears it the best, I guess. So Mia don't come back with blonde hair. Mia don't come back at all. But if you come back, don't come back with blonde hair. Is all I have to say.
I think it boosted Mia's head when Stacey said that she's a goddess with the dark hair. So I don't think, and she was like, oh, thank you. I was like, oh my God. But as far as I'm with you, it was a filler thing. We don't care. Karen does look good in the 613. I did say, excuse me, I hope I don't have no crumbs on my lips, but I did put in my notes, Karen is older. And so she would really be a gray-haired woman if we looked at back in the day, a 61-year-old woman would be a gray hair, a silver fox for the most part.
I feel like it's just the undertones. Mia doesn't like her.
Definitely that too.
Doesn't do anything.
She's older, so I feel like the light blonde gives you like you know, it's a pop. It pop. It looks good on her, like you said. The complexion goes good. Mia's features are kind of big too, so it just brings a lot. Light on light, bringing all those features out is like, girl, it's too much.
Yeah.
So I agree. Karen wears it better, but when she said that, what was it? She said, "Oh no, Gizelle wear it better." I'm like, that's Honey Blonde. He asked about 6:30.
Exactly. I was like, what are we talking? That's a whole different.
Why we? What? I was like,
Anyway,
girl. Mm-hmm.
get your blondes together, please. But then right after that, y'all, we move into the Stacy and Vivian dress debacle, which again, apparently Ashley wore the dress that freaking Stacy was wearing to her event. That's the same dress that months prior Ashley had worn, apparently. So Stacy took that as shade, and this is when Wendy let us know that this is when Stacy said that to Vivian. And she goes on to talk about how she allowed Vivian to be the exclusive designer for the event. And Gizelle was like, "Oh, you elevated Vivian, like, you know, you talk about, you know," because Stacey's like, "Yeah, I elevated her. She was the exclusive designer, yada yada yada." And Gizelle was like, "Oh, so that's why it's F that B, pretty much." And Stacey's like, "Yeah, she's dead to me." And actually, I don't know if did we go over last week? I don't think we did. Let me bring up real quick what Vivian said in response, because again, there's multiple sides to a story, and I'm gonna believe Vivian. So Vivian said, "Thanks, Gizelle Bryant, for asking who elevated who, the delusion of it all. Stacy is quickly unraveling her fraudulent self before our eyes. Stacy begged me to exclusively sponsor her event to elevate it. Her words. By the way, I introduced Stacy to the RHOP group. This is how she thanks me," shaking my head. "Lying, Stacy begged me for that outfit. I originally custom made that outfit for Ashley for a casual collaborative event. I offered Stacy another gown appropriate to her event, and she insisted on Ashley's outfit. I even showed her a pic of Ashley in it. My staff was present at the time of the conversation. Hey, Stacy, you returned all the gowns smelling funky," shaking my head. So, Stacy, I feel like Vivian has a reason to lie, especially on her business. I don't see why she would have, like, I just don't see how that would have benefited her to, like, that would have made her business look bad then if she was trying to be messy like that. So I'm believing Vivian on this one. And I feel like, based on the fact that we also know that you were like barking orders, talking about the ladies, you didn't want none of the ladies to wear this dress, and Gizelle pulled a quick one on your ass. I do feel like, yeah, Vivian is telling the truth in this instance. And my thing also is, I thought that was your girl. I thought you and Vivian went way back. So I thought, you actually knew her before, and that was the whole reason why, you didn't understand why you needed to tell Karen that you was going down to her boutique or whatever. And it's giving, like,
you're a liar, Stacy. You're becoming a big fat liar.
It's giving you're a liar, and it's also giving the fact that maybe this is why Karen was calling you out, is because you kind of like are low-key an opportunist, or low-key kind of messy when it comes to stuff like this. So yeah, I'm with everybody but Stacy on this one. Yeah. Monetary news, 333 kg gemstones, the jewels, and what are you, get out of here? What
I know you are
promoting? Don't do that. Anyway, so yeah, that's. And then Stacy also talked about how she expected more from them when she debuted her finale hair. That was awful. And shout outs to Tracy from PA for asking when Ashley is going to prioritize her foot health and address those bunions. I've been asking that for seasons now. And Ashley talks about how they're actually genetic. She's had them since she was 10. Blah blah blah. That doesn't mean that doesn't mean you can't get them worked on, because last time I checked, you said you didn't get them worked on because that will put you out of commission for too long, and you have young boys to run after. So which one is it? I don't know. You got time to get your boobs done, whatever. Wendy thinks that what? She thinks that she is because then they start talking about again, like the ladies' fashions and stuff, which I was like, I mean, we know that RHOP isn't really known as like the fashion franchise. I mean, we got, you know, onesie twosies, you know, I love it when Karen puts on her Sunday's best. I like Wendy's outfits a lot of times. Okay, like there's individuals within the group that, you know, can do something, but they're not known to be a fashion franchise. So again, I didn't really care about talking about their fashions. And Wendy also thinking, I guess she's like the trendsetter of the group. I did laugh though when Gizelle was like, she shut her down real quick, because she's like, you know, nobody's driving to PA to peek in your windows. Like nobody's going all the way to PA. I thought that was funny because if y'all remember, they're always like talking about how far off Wendy lives, and I'm like, girl, like, yeah, you must live off the beaten path. I thought that was funny for Gizelle to have said.
Mm-hmm.
Viewer, actually, I take that back. I did laugh too when a viewer called out Mia about how at first when she was with Gordon and stuff, she was wearing blazers, versus now we see her with Ink and she's giving Fashion Nova and starting up messy storylines. And she didn't deny it. Like she was like, you know, I guess they paying her well, Fashion Nova is, to be an ambassador for hers. And that ain't no shade from me, y'all. I mean, do what you got to do. But I did think that was funny, because didn't she used to come on talking about, you know, she was a boss with the briefcase and et cetera, et cetera. And then, yeah, we quickly saw that turn into, Fashion Nova.
I mean, as soon as she got with Ink, it changed. As soon as that dude was brought up, her whole demeanor was hot girl summer. I said, okay, girl.
Very much so. Very much so. But then after that, y'all, and apparently, if you guys haven't noticed, we don't really ever see Stacey's ears because her wigs be so bad. So of course they had to shade her about that, which I thought was funny. Get better wigs. I don't know what to tell you. Then out comes Jacqueline. And as we know, you know, she is pregnant. We find out though, I assume PP was her baby daddy, her baby father, but he's not. He's not her baby father. We haven't seen her baby father. But she's due in May apparently. And we do not care about that moment that you and Ashley had that dry kiss between you guys in Panama. But
evidently, what is her male name? I don't know. Ash PP OP.
If you didn't ask me that, I would have remembered. I can't remember right now. But Ashley ton of pussy.
Oh, that's what it is, because I don't even know what it means.
Mm-hmm. That is her. So who knows? The baby daddy, I guess. Who knows? Her or Mia, I guess. I don't know. But y'all, this actually sparks Andy to bring up the breakup between Mia and Ink. And Mia gives us a whole bunch of word salad to say that, you know, talking about it was a lot. She thought she was going about things the right way, only to see it back and realize that she went about things all wrong. She worked so hard for her family and her kids are amazing. And to see it all crumbled, it's just, you know, it's hard to see. Inka's her best friend. He'll always forever be a part of her life. But do they need to be in an intimate relationship? No, they do not.
Everybody called Cap. It was like, damn. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I didn't even understand why she was there, to be honest with you, Nello. No idea, honestly.
So, here's the thing too. Did y'all notice how when they did bring her on, because just when they did bring her on, and you know, they was like, well, you know, we're joined by Jacqueline. You know, Jacqueline looks a little different. She turns to the camera and says, yeah, because I'm pregnant, and they don't even have it on the camera that she's call herself talking to, and I was just like, you're so molded. I was like, you're so there to have a moment that your moment ain't even the moment. Like,
exactly. And it brings me back to what I said about Kate. I say the same thing about Jacqueline, obviously for different reasons, but not everybody's meant to be the front runner. Mm-hmm. Jacqueline, your services are no longer needed. They never were needed. Honestly, go take a very long 18+ year maternity leave and just leave us out of it.
She didn't say month, y'all. She didn't say 18 months. She said 18 year.
Yeah, that's fine. And then by that time, the show probably won't even be on no more. So whatever. But a viewer asks the ladies, what is their impression of Ink? And Wendy spoke first, and I want to say she said like he was cool or whatever. I didn't write down what she said at first, but it's different seeing things play back pretty much. And Gizelle thinks that Ink wanted all of the camera time, and that him and her are not broken up. And Ashley agrees to that. Gizelle says, Mia actually lives in Atlanta. She flies in to do her interviews. And Mia's like, what are you talking about? No, like, what are you talking about? No, the kids, they go private schooling or whatever. So of course, then that would mean that they're able to, that doesn't help her at all. She could just pick them up and go to be in Atlanta. And that's where her oldest son lives too, apparently too, with his dad. So then Wendy goes on to say that she thinks that Mia had a plan that was orchestrated to come onto the season with Ink, and it backfired pretty much. So then she decided to drop Ink, get back with Gordon, or get back to posting stuff about Gordon to get back into the viewers' good graces. And again, all along, she's really behind the scenes still with Ink or whatever. So of course, Mia was, denying this whole thing. And Andy's like, but like, what benefit would that be to her then? Like, how would that be beneficial? Hello,
hello.
This right here, the show, her being on the show, like that would be the benefit. And and a viewer had asked something about, like, was this really the first time, or maybe it was Andy, I don't know, but somebody asks, was this really like the first time you brought up the divorce to your kids? Like, was it on the show? And she was like, well, originally I wanted to get a family counselor, but it just didn't work out like that. So yes.
No. And that's a lie, because if you really wanted a family counselor, you could afford to do that. You could have made that part of the show. That would have been something else for them to do. Don't play with us like that, girl. You did not want that.
Underway. The whole point is, like, did you safeguard the kids? Even if you didn't get the counselor, you could have still just had the conversation offline, but you chose to bring that to the forefront, and that's a big deal. Like, that we didn't, as Stacey said, I'll give Stacey that much, we didn't see her telling Arabella about her and her dad breaking up. So
what?
We should not be privy to that information.
You know what? And we hear this, what I'm about to say is going to be backed up with something that Mia is going to say later on. And my thing is, Mia is almost, if not as much as an alcoholic as the Grand Dame. Let's be clear. She got a lot of things going on when it comes to both the boyfriend and then her husband, dealing with the kids, and she gets a little too tipsy and starts talking smack and talking out the side of her neck and doing too much. And so for me, it could have been a time where that's why it kind of came out and she couldn't pull back, because sometimes when you're been drinking, your stuff is a little thrown off. So, and I'm not giving her no excuses. I'm just saying, but she's actually going to say something that she said to Wendy, and Wendy going to ask her, and she was like, I was drinking. I was like, yeah. I was like, when you said that, I said, yeah, that happens a lot more than we know. And that's why I did put in my notes, like, Gordon has bipolar disorder. So that in itself is a big deal. Like, literally, on top of the fact that his triggers and that you are not helping with you having a boyfriend, and then the fact that you guys was even thinking about a paternity test, like literally all those things in a bipolar, somebody that has that, man. And she's like, yeah, and I've been taking up for him, and I'm like, you might have, man, but you also been contributing to the triggers that is having him have these episodes. Like, it's literally you, and you keep trying to be like, but it's him, and he was going to come and apologize or tell y'all that he apologizes to me for what he's done to me. No, and everybody's like, no, he wouldn't have, and nobody believes that, because literally he thinks he's a victim too. He knows that you and Ink did something to him. Whether it be making him think that it's not his kid, whether it's making a fool out of him on the show, bringing this dude in here, making your damn tagline with this fool in it, talking about Ink is permanent. Like, girl, you played in your husband's face, and this man has bipolar disorder. You done lost your damn scruples, and then you're wondering why you're on the stage crying. Girl, because karma is cold-blooded. Karma is cold, and you're messing with somebody with mental health issue that is related to you. That's your husband, and you. That's why them girls came for her. I was just like, yeah, y'all need to go and get her because nobody believes you, Mia, and that's why she has to run away from everybody because that crunch ain't working. I'm sorry, I went on a little tangent. That just made me think about that. Hey, Sweet Pea, how are you?
Hey, I hope you have a good shift at work and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for allowing us to keep you company. So yeah, but again, Mia just continues. Leah, I was think liar and Mia, Leah. So
Laia.
Exactly. We continue to fire her ass up, or the ladies do, and she lets us know that, or according to her, Ink is the one that wanted the paternity test, and she starts to speak about the kids not being even aware of, you know, this whole thing because they aren't allowed on social media. Please, do you guys want to tell her or should I? Because last time I checked, that doesn't matter, and they more than likely still know because they got friends, they got kids. That doesn't matter, Mia. And she also, I spoke to this tune earlier in the season. She gives me not super hands-on and attentive mother anyway. She gives me very much like, yeah, her and Ink be trying to go over here or she be doing other stuff or whatever. So no, them kids know, be quiet. But Kay calls out Mia for her stories not adding up, her exploiting her family. I think that's when she brings up the elder abuse and all of that. Mia says that she could have already been pregnant, even though she was going through IVF at the time of conception. Do you guys need to tell her, or again, should I? Because my thing is, and I'm glad Wendy let her know and everybody else let her know, that's not how IVF works. You have to take a actual blood test, and there's no pregnancy slipping through the cracks when it comes to that. So you're lying for no reason. And according to this legitimate formal paternity test that they've done, apparently Jeremiah is legitimately Gordon's child. And
here's the only question. Because the baby definitely is his. Is that what it is?
Huh?
The daughter is not in question. Only the son.
It was just the question was about the son.
Only for the son. That's what I was just asking. I said the question was only about
the younger, which I wonder. I don't know if like she used IV. I don't know. We have, thank God, actually, that's a good thing that we haven't brought the daughter into questions either.
I wasn't. I just was wondering because they just always asked about the son. So
no, I know. I'm just saying.
That's kind of.
We don't know that much. I thank God she at least safeguarded one of her kids. But again, she claims that. Oh yeah, and a viewer calls out Mia for having adult conversations within earshot of her kids. She claims that's never occurred before prior to that day with, you know, her and G and them. And G and Ink were actually supposedly cool for an entire year before filming. Gizelle calls bullshit because she's like, G even said himself like that he didn't want to film with Ink. We've seen him say that. So Mia, again, you're lying, but she claims that she went about it this way because based on the co-parenting relationship that she had with her oldest son's father and she, where like they're like really cool and stuff like that, she assumed that it could be the same way with Ink and Gordon. Again, even after Gordon said he didn't want to film with him and that every time he looks at him, he just sees adultery with his wife. I don't know why she would think that that would mean that they could get along and it could be one big kumbaya session, but you know, let her tell it. That's what she thought. So then Andy asks Jacqueline her input, and she says it's familiar because she's seen Gordon go from being, you know, in one space to being in another space in another minute. And she's seen both of them get along, both Prime and Ink get along, but she's also, you know, seen other moments where they don't get along. And she says that she did suggest to Mia that she shouldn't mix all these elements. She said that. And oh yeah, that's when Kay said the elderly abuse thing. But again, Mia claims that Gordon wanted to come today to tell them. And at first I was confused by what she was meaning. I guess she meant like he wanted to come to let them know that they need to apologize to her because he really was bad, saying bad things or bad towards her, I guess. I'm guessing that's what she meant by that. And like, no, you're lying. Like every way she turned to try to justify some stuff, they were not letting her off the hook, y'all. They had her. There was how many ladies are there? There was like 14 feet on her neck, and she could not breathe, and none of them were believing her. So Gizelle says, you know, had people been on board with your whole thing, you wouldn't be saying, you know, you wouldn't be remorseful right now. It wouldn't have been no apologies, no nothing. But the only reason why you're apologetic is because you got that heat from people, including Essence Magazine, that, you know, called you out during the season because you came up here with some foolishness and exploiting, you know, your children and in your family or whatever. And then this is when, as we were referring to before, this is when Wendy points out how when they were in Miami, Mia referred to herself as the Beyonce of the group while everybody else is the Michelles. And I pause for a second. We need to start putting some respect on Michelle's name because Michelle's a great artist in her own right. So let's just get that out the way. And also, as Wendy was saying, okay, what about the Kellys? But anyway, and I think this is what you were saying.
Anybody in the group of Destiny Child, they're all good. I don't care what you're talking about. Them all the girls are good. But the fact that you think that you're Beyonce, girl, stop. Shut up. It wasn't Beyonce and Destiny Child. Destiny Child was one group. Like, I
feel like this just speaks to, again, as you were saying, like, I don't even think it's so much as when she gets alcohol in her system, she starts doing this. We've seen her do this anyway. I just feel like when Mia feels comfortable enough, you can get her to put her own foot in her mouth. And even I didn't mention this yet, but I'll say it right here, I guess, since we're on the subject. Her she even lied here. And I don't know if you guys caught that live that she did the other night. Her and Gordon did a live after the episode to, I guess, you know, clarify. Shout outs to Larger Curves. I watched the playback on her channel. So go ahead and go to her channel, watch it, y'all. That's where you can find it. But in there, they revealed that neither of him, like Gordon had filed the papers, but then he rescinded it. And nothing is currently filed. He was saying how he told her, like, whenever you're ready, go file it. It's fine, whatever. But didn't she say last week in part 1 that they were waiting for the judge to just sign off of it and they were in the final stages of their divorce? That's a fucking lie right there. So you're lying for no reason. You just literally put your foot in your mouth. So again, I don't know if anybody else caught that, but I immediately clocked that when I heard her say that. I was like, but you just said that. So which one is it? Is it filed or is it not? Anyway. So again, yeah, I and she didn't deny that she said the Beyonce thing or whatever. She didn't deny it at all. So again, yes, Andy, justice for Michelle. But yeah, she blames it on her drinking or whatever. So then someone asked Jacqueline if Mia has always had an odd relationship with the truth. Love how you put that. And Jacqueline said, you know, when it comes to her, like, she's always been very honest, but she has seen Mia to be somebody that exaggerates things at times. And it's like, she doesn't even know she's aware if she's really doing it. But at the same time, she's not a blatant liar. Okay. And then when we get into Mia saying disparaging things about Gizelle's daughters, Mia says she didn't think it was okay, and she apologized to Gizelle, and Gizelle's right there on that ass and says that, Mia, no, you actually tried to jump bad with me pretty much when we were after Ashley's show or whatever. And we get that unseen footage of Mia doing just that. And then goes from saying what she just said to saying that, well, you know, Gizelle, you call me a terrible mother. And Gizelle's like, well, yeah, you literally were. Like, yes, that's exactly what you gave us. No mother would act like, you know, this, that, and the other thing, which you gave this season. And at this point, she can't take it no more. The crocodile tears haven't worked. Jacqueline hasn't been able to come to her defense enough. So she, at this point, gets up and exits the stage again. And this time, Andy doesn't go after her. Nobody moves a muscle, not even Jacqueline. She doesn't even go check on her. So, yeah.
They don't even call her name. They don't even call her, you know, because some people, Mia, don't leave. Like, there was crickets, y'all. Like, literally all you heard was Megan. Remember when Megan Good was walking with her boyfriend down in the courtroom? That's all you heard. Clunk, clunk.
Exactly.
Clunk,
and then
clunk.
and cut pretty much, because then they go to break or whatever, which I think it was only supposed to be like a 5-minute break or something. And so y'all, this is when we see the men backstage. The only men in the building for this particular reunion are Greg and Eddie, and they're about to make their debut. They're all ready and everything, and for whatever reason, Eddie's like, oh, we should hit up TJ. Where's TJ? And so he proceeds to FaceTime TJ, and they're like, hey, what's up, man? And this was at the time that we had the fires out here in LA, and TJ said that he had to get evacuated and stuff, but other than that, like he's good. And they're like, we were hoping to see you today, like what's up with that? And TJ's like, man, I'm not going to that fake ass show with them fake ass people, man. Okay. Okay. And so we don't hear what they say because they make it all inaudible. Obviously, they're trying to build up the dramatics. Right. But all of a sudden, they're like, oh, man, oh, my God, what? Really? Oh, my God, that was a lot. And at that same time, then we pan back over to the ladies on stage, and we see Wendy go like, ding, whatever. And she looks at her phone, and she's like, oh, my God, shut the up. Like, what? And of course, all the ladies are behind her, like what happened? What's going on with that or whatever? And of course, that's where we end the episode. And for me, this scene, I mean, obviously, it's building up the suspense. I feel like I already know exactly what's going to get said. I've heard it, we've talked about it and heard it through the grapevine, and made mention of it, the fact that they not really in a real relationship, Stacy. But I will say the other thing that I thought about in this scene though was the fact that Eddie, like, clearly. Wendy, you orchestrated that. Don't tell me you didn't. Like, it gave rehearsed. It gave Wendy, you put Eddie up to that. It was a good moment. Like, I'm cool with it. Like, I'm not coming at her about it. But obviously, like, because it was just like, oh, let's call TJ. It was very robotic and just, it gave rehearsed. So, again, I can't wait to get into the next part, because I want to see if, the rumors are true, and that's exactly what is going to be revealed. But I don't know if we're gonna get Mia in that last part, y'all. No idea. And honestly, when Mia would have got up, I don't know why. If I was Wendy, I would have did a quick little and slid my ass right on. Because we got to give it to the people that hate her won't give her flowers on this one, but Wendy's definitely been running and in charge of the girls down here at the reunion this episode. She definitely was. So I don't know why she didn't just slide her brown booty cheeks right over to Andy, but I would have. Thank you very much, because clearly Mia couldn't take the heat, and I don't know what her I want you guys to let me know in the comments, like, what did you guys think her strategy was coming into the reunion? Like, what do you guys think? Like, because some people may have thought like she was going to come harder. I definitely thought that she would have more rebuttals and stuff like that, but I don't know. Yeah, like, what was her strategy? Like, what was the card she was trying to play? Because
we know what card she's trying to play. She's trying to change the narrative now, because she knows that everybody sees that everybody wasn't on board with her when she brought Ink along, because you was dogging out your husband. You didn't have to do it like that. So we all see that the narrative has been changed, and we see you, Martin Lawrence. We see you. We see you. Flashlight. Hello. So TJ is now calling the show and women fake, yet he is paid actor. Sounds a bit scorn to me. I'm just saying, honey, Kev, seriously. First of all, I didn't like that either. I was like, fake. So basically, you're talking to two other guys of two of the women that you are calling fake, and neither one of them checked you. You didn't. Neither one. So it didn't apply to the two men that you were talking to when you were talking to them. Like, I would ask him, who you talking? Who you calling fake?
I wasn't really perturbed by that. He said fake ass people, and I feel like the bigger thing that he was saying is just, I don't know. I just took it in a general sense. Honestly, I wouldn't have been offended. But it does speak to, like how Kevin said, like, I mean, that's not the thing that you were talking about when you was up here getting your 5 minutes of fame, pretty much. But again, I think the ultimate thing that's going to be revealed here, y'all, is that he was paid and she failed to, she failed to pay him in a timely fashion. I honestly, you can't, until we see what we're going to see next week, you cannot tell me otherwise. You can't.
I don't know. I had no idea that my sis thought that. Like, I had that. I haven't even went that far because I'm the type of person I don't want to even ruin it for myself and like literally be like, oh, this is exactly what it is. Sometimes I do, but for the most part, I try not to. For me, it don't matter. He sounded like a sucker. He acted like a sucker, and he's still gonna be a sucker after the worst because literally you the one agreed to it. So how you were portrayed, the way you acted, the way you was trying to treat her, and all that sucker behavior. So if that's what you wanted to do and you agreed to it and it didn't come out to the way you wanted it to come out to, if my sister's right, too bad. So sad. That's what you get for trying to get your little 15 minutes of fame off of a woman's back, with the fakeness and all. So I ain't got
at the same time, if you pay me to do a job and you don't send me my last payment, then no, I'm not showing up and I don't really
you know why? I bet you she did because let her tell it. I didn't like the way I was being. I didn't like the disrespect.
So then she should have known that he was going
to disrespect me in my face like that.
So then I don't. You buy my silence. You don't send me no money. You don't. My silent mouth is open.
Here's the thing. I'm starting to now wonder if these microphones be on and do they just throw them saying this part at this part and showing us that because. Why didn't she hear him when he said that? Don't touch me, because
no, I remember him. It just wasn't read for whatever reason. I don't know why. Obviously you and me don't need to see something that disrespect back to feel disrespected, but I guess for whatever reason the disrespect went over her head in the moment and she had to see it back.
Right. She was guilty, like, I was hanging out with other people, so him being mad at me is him telling me don't touch him is okay because I was hanging out with the people that I came to come see. Okay.
Or she's lying. Ultimately, she could also just be lying about this whole thing and she could not feel away. And she could just be covering up the fact that, again, he's not here because I didn't pay him, not because we broke up. We don't know. We don't know, Stacey.
I cannot wait to see.
We don't know. But that's all I got. I think. Let me look at my notes again. It was good. It was good. Like I said, it was. I feel like because we had a little bit of filler in there that brought down my score of it, but it was good for the most part. Again, if you didn't see that live of G and Mia, the only other thing I have to say about that, didn't really give anything except it made me think that the timeline is weird because she did say that they met when she was like 18 and 19 originally, and then he got her a car, and then they went their separate ways or whatever, and then he came back. They crossed paths again when she was like in her mid-20s or something like that or something. But again, it just was a little weird to me because it's like, wait, okay, was this when you were at the strip club or not? Was this, he must have obviously been in one of his marriages at the time or whatever. Were you and Ink in cahoots or whatever? Were you guys trying to pull a fast one on him? The timeline was just very weird. And also we have to remember that she was married to her oldest son's father too. So I'm like, and then your house math just wasn't mathing again. So y'all go add it up yourself. Like I said before, go head to Larger Curves channel and watch it. Let her know we sent you because I don't know. I was confused. But again, I will say that the whole reason why she did that again was to try to clean up her act and stuff. I believe they're both in cahoots or she be making him say whatever or go along with to get along anyway. So it wasn't like I was going down there to really collect truth.
Yeah, we already know that how she lied. It even shows up when she lied to was telling the ladies about, I didn't know that what she said, I didn't know we didn't know if I was pregnant before the IVF. I'm like, you've been lying to these men that you thought so long, or that they're gullible enough to take that at face value. So you thought you could bring that on this stage and say that to these women as if we don't know that we can get a blood test and know that if we're pregnant or not. like that's how much of a liar she is. And even Jacqueline, I think Jacqueline is even over it. Like she was looking at. Now I did rewind a part to when Jacqueline said something about like when they were all like, "Oh no, we don't believe that." They didn't believe Mia at all about what Gordon had said, that he was coming on to apologize or whatever she said. In that moment, Jacqueline had said, "They don't believe that Gordon has bipolar." I said, "Ooh."
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay. So her saying that kind of made me a little not nervous, but it just was like, dang, do they believe that? Or do they not believe that? Or should we not believe that? Or did Gordon say that? I hope Gordon did tell us that, because now I'm like, dang. But I do believe he has it. I ain't gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
I remember the time when he flirted with Karen the first time he saw her, and he was like licking his tongue out at Karen. I was like, ooh.
Oh yeah, I remember
that. Something ain't right with that. So yeah, I just went through my notes and wanted to say that part of it too, that we know, Mia's a liar, so we can't really trust anything she says. And if she doesn't come back next year, so be it. I don't know if she is or not, but like literally, if you got to lie to be on the show, we don't need you here. I don't like liars, one, and I definitely don't want to watch you on TV.
Pretty much, I feel the same exact way, y'all. So again, let us know what you guys think of this episode, what you rated it, all the different things. We got one more part going, and then we'll be done with season 9 of Potomac, y'all.
Oh, they'll be on season 10.
Shout outs to the collective 44 people that are watching, 46 people that are watching. And again, if you are catching this on X, make sure you come on over here, subscribe to the channel down on YouTube. And don't forget to show some love on both channels. Don't forget to subscribe on both channels. Don't forget to comment both channels, share, turn on your post notifications, all the things, y'all. And we'll be back for part 3 next week. That's all I got.
One last thing, I wore my Whitney Houston shirt in honor of Stacy. Them trying to say she had she was looking like Whitney. So I wore my Whitney Houston shirt today. All right, I just want to put that out.
Get better wigs, Stacy. You got one more episode. You better go back in that dressing room and change your wig.
And then be able to go like this to it. Like,
we want to see them ears.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like even Rodney does that. Even Rodney.
He's live right
now.
Shout
out to Rodney the voice.
All right. Y'all. So don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, do all the things, and we will catch you in the next one. Bye. Shout out to everybody in the chat.